rise, warriors of gold. Legends are written, our story unfolds. Steel meets will in the heart of the fight. Bow to the crown or be lost in the night. We stand tall, we don't kneel. Glory forged in iron and steel. Through the fire, through the pain, only the strongest will remain. Imperial, the kingdom stands. Imperial, we rule the land. No retreat, no backing down. We wear the gold, we take the crown. Imperial, the empire reigns. Battle cries echo through the halls. Champions rise while the weak ones fall. One shot, one chance, destiny calls. Claim your fate or lose it all. We stand tall, we don't kneel. Glory forged in iron and steel. Through the fire, through the pain, only the strongest will remain. Imperial, the kingdom stands. Imperial, we rule the land. No retreat, no backing down. We wear the gold, we take the crown.
And you know what that is? Devious. The Genius and the Legion! The Genius and the Legion! One mind is always plotting, the others bring destruction. They're breaking down the walls, they're calling every feud, talking all the latest drama with attitude and truth. The Devious Genius Colin Barker always has a master plan, while Spawn and Persona stand beside him, backing every demand. The Genius, the Legion, reviewing the wars to come. The Genius, the Legion, till every rival comes undone.
Evening, everyone. Now, not wanting to sound smug, but I am feeling very smug. Over the last 10 shows of IWF, can I say, I've sat there, quiet, stood at the commentary, just listened and watched and planned. And some people say I plotted, but no, everyone thinks I'm the bad guy because I'm the brains. No. I'm not the bad guy. I've just given Persona and Spawn the rope. They can just go off the leash. They can crack them up, sort them out. And you saw what happened at Crown's End game last month at IWF Show 10. You know, after that gauntlet. And Dagon won. We were so happy, weren't we? The crowd were ecstatic. And then the plan, shall we say, fell into place. Out came the coffin. I opened the coffin. I reached in, offered my hand, and who pops out? Persona. I told you I'd find him, and I did find him, and not a problem. And of course, then what happens? The mystery man in the ring facing Dagon. And you never saw that coming, did you? You never saw that coming. All those years have been held back by his father. And Spawn just says, I just want to be free. I just want to be the king. I want to rule this empire. I says, well, between you and Persona, you two can do anything you want. I'll just keep an eye on everything. You two just go and kick the snot out of him. And guess what? Dagon got the snot kicked out of him. Brian got double chair shot, which was really nice to see. Sorry about the sunflower, Brian. It was just a little tinge. And of course, the biggest pop of the night when Lilith got a big boot in the gob to shut her up, which was really pleasant. I think everyone was happy. Yeah, you can stop pulling faces, DJB. Hybrid, awful theme song, crazy delusion old man. It was the IQ of Yorkshire pudding. Well, Hybrid, we'll see tomorrow. We shall see tomorrow. You can call me anything you want, because sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, because I am a wordsmith, and you know that. Now, of course, this is called The Genius and the Legion, and I can't do it on my own, so let me invite the Legion. Come on down. Let's see you all. And let's just remind these people who the hell we are, because here we go. Oh, we got Persona.
Yes, who's back?
Yes.
The goat is back.
The goat is back. And, I was there for you, Persona. I was there for you. I was there for you all the time, wasn't I?
I always knew you would be, and I've heard that the IWF audience have missed me very much on the old Facebook, on YouTube, wherever this is. I've been missed. I've came back to save the page. The numbers going through the roof since I've just came on the screen, and it is good to be back. It's good when a plan falls into place so perfectly.
Do you know, it's just like the A-Team. I love it when a plan comes together. And this has been a plan that's been building over 10 shows. You know, we've had the conversations, we've had the chats, we've had the reassurances, we've had the encouragement. And all of a sudden, you pick your point. And when you pick your point, you're going to do something, you just knock 7 bells out of them and put her all day.
It couldn't have went any more perfect on the night. I mean, Spawn taking off Dagon's head with that clothesline. Brian getting absolutely pezzled for trying to be the main character. Oh no, don't stomp on the sunflower. It's tattooed on my arm. My friend. Wow. Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. Then the little wench Lily got kicked in the face, who everyone thought that I had a soft spot for, but all along I knew that she'd be the undoing of the Lilac family. It's great. Well, but I think everybody watching this and everybody that rewatches this is going to want to hear from a certain Spawn tonight, because he's said some things, but he's not said everything that everybody wants to know. So it is with great pleasure that I will finally announce that you will hear all the things that you want to hear from Spawn. He will answer all the questions that you vile vermin put on the bottom of this screen, or everything will be revealed tonight. Except it won't be, because Spawn's not here, because he couldn't think of anything worse to do than come on here and talk to you bunch of idiots. So we're letting Spawn have the night off. You can be well rested for tomorrow when we come out and we pezzle the Detriment and we teach them what tag team wrestling's all about. So, no Spawn, just the genius, just the goat. Cry about it. Did we do some false advertising by putting Spawn at the top of the screen? We did. Do we care? No. Are we going to get up for the show as usual? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I say. They could kiss my big hairy ginger backside. That's what they could do about it. Look, Persona, it is fabulous. And since 4 weeks ago, when, shall we say for Dagon, the wheels fell off in a bad way for the old Pandemus family, nice to see Davey get a good old punch up the bracket and a kick in the Jimmy Jewels. That was coming. That's been coming a long time, though. That has. Yeah.
It's great. It's great to see someone. Now, I'm not trying to be like nasty, but it's great to see someone as ugly as him just get braid. It really brings a smile to my face, because people like him shouldn't be allowed to walk this planet. You are going to be the reason for my son's downfall. Well, Dagon, this is where you're getting it all wrong. And this is one of the main reasons why Spawn decided to align himself with us. And it's because of you. You, since the IWF has begun, and since before that, you've been Spawn's downfall. You've been holding him back his entire wrestling career. I mean, did he start in professional wrestling by just being his own thing? Did he start by being Spawn, this hard-hitting wrestler who made crowds love him? No, he started as just the Spawn of Dagon. And he was always in your shadow. And then when he started to come out of your shadow, you tried everything you could to wrap that chain around him and pull him back the way he belonged, behind you. This new age, this new era of the Legion is not going to be Spawn's downfall. And I've said it before, this is going to be your downfall, Dagon. We are going to do everything that we possibly can do to make sure that you never, ever come back to professional wrestling. And it started last show. It will continue this show. It will continue June. It will continue July, August. It will continue for as long as it needs to until you are no longer in professional wrestling.
And I feel, Persona, that, he's thinking he's big and strong. This lad is big and strong. He's 18 now, 85 kilos, built like a brick outhouse. Yeah. And the lad, I've never known anyone chop, get someone in a submission, put him in that crossface, and, he's not going to get out of that. Dagon's not going to get out of that. He became successful following my lead. Yeah, right.
Well,
Dagon.
That's just right. Dagon, under your lead, how many main championships has Spawn won in professional wrestling? 0. When he's in the Legion, how many main championships is he going to win? All of them. And that is a promise tonight that I will make. He lifted the IWF Championship at the end of last show, and that was a clear and direct message that he is coming for that title. And it is also a clear picture of the future of IWF, and that future is Spawn, the IWF champion.
He's not ready for that yet.
This is what I mean, holding him back once again.
Yeah, he's like a pair of braces, isn't he, Dagon? Always trying to hold you back. Look, what I've always said, and I've said this to the GOAT as well as said to Spawn, you two are better than they tell you you are. You are the GOAT persona, and Spawn is the future. And he is. There's no one in the roster who can stand him. Remember that match? Rory Shaw and Spawn, them two knocking 7 bells out of each other. He can stand up to anyone, can Spawn. He could go toe-to-toe with anyone. Sometimes, yeah, I know he got that chair out with Danny Kaye, but, Danny Kaye deserves it sometimes because he's a bit of a pillock. But, look, the lad just wanted, it's just like a flower. You've got to let the flower grow and then mature. And he's maturing now. He's got the brain. He's got his own thoughts in his mind now. He's getting encouraged. You're encouraging him. I'm encouraging him. It's very simple. This young lad can go as far as he wants. And I know, GOAT knows that, with the two of us with him, the sky's the limit. And anyone that gets in our path, and we know that 2 idiots tomorrow night think they're going to get in our path. And I'll tell them now, they've got 2 chances of doing anything to us. That's slim and none. All I do is make sure all your medical expenses are up to date for the Detriment, because I think you're going to need it.
Speaking of the Detriment, we shall talk about tomorrow evening, which is IWF's 11th consecutive monthly show, Our Legacy, at our usual venue, the Cheers Bar in Sunderland. Colin, what time do the doors open?
6 o'clock.
What time does the first bell ring?
6:30 on the dot.
Tickets, £10 an adult, £5 a child, as it says at the bottom of there. I'm not sure if all you Sunderland scum can afford that. I'm surprised the IWF management haven't lowered the prices down yet for you, but I digress. You can pay right now by message on the page, or you can pay on the door. Either way, it's the same price. But if you pay right now as we speak, you can have your seat reserved. If you pay on the door, you sit where you are told.
Yeah, or stand or stand, because I think it might be standing room only tomorrow if they don't get the figures out. No. I know Liam Dafter. Every lad's calling up, you're well, so yeah, I'm fine. Put the comment up before that. I just want the goat. Spawn won't become IWF champions, as I won't face him. You won't have the choice. You won't have the choice, Sunshine.
Is this Dagon picking and choosing who he wrestles as champion? But when I was champion, when I was the IWF champion, I had to face every single obstacle underneath the sun. I didn't get to pick and choose. I wrestled in a triple threat match, which was basically a handicap match. But Dagon gets to pick and choose what he does.
You remember when Walker and that gauntlet match, you'd just been pezzled, and then Walker walks in, and then you lose the belt. You know, how much can DJB stack against it? You've got to remember, it's Dagon, and DJB, the GM, will be, of course, just, you know, ushering him along and sort of like saying, come on, you know, we don't like these lads, you know, they're a bit rambunctious, shall we say. They've got a bit too much power. No, we do not have power. What we have is strength in numbers. Eddie, Prince Tegan, Persona. I didn't get the role of that. The morning, yet again. Eddie, kiss my backside. Prince, I will never lay a finger on my son. Well, I'm not worried about you laying a finger on your son. I'll tell you what, your son is going to lay more than a finger on you, Sunshine. If he gets the match, what's he going to do, Persona?
Well, I think he's going to knock the 7 bells out of Prince Dagon, and he's going to lift that championship up and send Dagon to the retirement home where he belongs. I think that's what's going to happen.
He's got to get past Walker tomorrow, and Walker's had a period of time off. And if he thinks he's going to get past Walker, he's looking ahead too far, isn't he? You know, it doesn't matter who's champion. When Spawn chooses his point, and when we get that opportunity, it's game over, Sunshine, isn't it? Absolute game over.
Doesn't matter who it is, we are coming for gold. Anyway, so there is the show poster. Make sure you are there if you do not want to miss the action that we are about to present to you, although a lot of it is missable, and you should only really come to see myself and Spawn. Everybody else is kind of... there's some good talents, actually. We'll run through it, and I'll tell you who's good, and I'll tell you who's not. Anyway, our first match of the evening is... Oh, let us just get away here so we can be seen a bit better. There we go.
Solaris Hex, who we saw at the last show, getting absolutely pezzled by Asylum in that gauntlet match. He came out third, didn't he? Hey, this kid, I'll give him his due. He's high flying, he's resilient, but he got the absolute crap knocked out of him, didn't he, by Asylum?
And then, obviously, he's going against our kid, who I have very little knowledge of, but if I know correctly, Colin, you have quite a lot of knowledge of this.
Oh, our kid, absolutely lovely lad is our kid. But very focused. He does work a lot of drop kick with me, and he comes to training every week. And the guy is a professional. This guy is going to wipe the floor with Solaris X. I'm telling you that now. It's going to be a quick-paced match, I'll tell you that. Well, Solaris X, if you think you're going to get the win over our kid, think again, because this guy is he's a beast. He took time out from wrestling for about 10 years and came back about 2 years ago. And he hasn't missed a beat. This guy, we put him with other guys, in the training and stuff like that, and he elevates them as well. Our kid is a master. And Solaris Hex, you are the pupil who's going to get taken to task. Absolutely.
What I will say as well for both of these people, it's the both first singles match for both of them inside the IWF, which is obviously a very daunting thing for most wrestlers that walk through the door, getting a debut. You don't know what to expect. You don't know how the audience are going to receive you. Obviously, these two have never faced each other before, so they don't really know what to expect of each other. Obviously, you've spoken very highly of our kid, and I will always trust the genius's judgment. What I will say about Hex is although he did get pezzled by Asylum, what I will say, and this is one of Colin's favourite words, is when you get an opportunity within professional wrestling. It doesn't matter if you win. It doesn't matter if you lose. As long as you make a lasting impression on the people backstage and on the people paying to see you, then you will reap the rewards. And that is what Hex has done here. I'm speaking unbiased here. I'm not trying to be my usual. I can't say many words that I was going to say there, but my usual self. But what I will say about Hex, very new, very young, not a lot of experience in there. And from what I've seen, he's one of them wrestlers that I like to call all flip, no brains. And what I mean by that is you can do all the acrobatics, you can do all the cool stuff, you can make the kids go wow, but when it comes down to it, you can't lace somebody's boots. And unfortunately, that comes with more training, more experience. So when it comes to this match, I will go with the experienced Arcade to take the win.
Absolutely. I can't see any other task. You know, this guy, our kid's been wrestling for years. Must be 15 years this guy has been in a wrestling ring. And he's just, he will outclass Solaris X. As long as he gets Solaris X on the floor, he will absolutely muller him. That's what's going to happen. He's going to get mullered. But as you said, Persona, rule number one, opportunity. You stand out, you get a chance. And you got a chance against our kid. And it's not about wins and losses sometimes. It's about making yourself look good. And as usual, we shall wait and see how many flips and kicks he does. And we'll see how our kid puts him to sleep. Absolutely, certainly. Right, our next match. Oh, I can't wait for this. I cannot wait for this.
It's a flashback. We've had this.
Yeah. And we've seen this before, haven't we? I'm sure we've seen this before.
I believe this is actually the IWF's first ever match.
And
was at Grand Slam, Johnny Flashback versus Nate Sawyer, and they are deciding to roll it back at All Legacy. Obviously, in the first match that they had together, Nate Sawyer picked up the victory with an assist from Scarlett, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. She's a little minx, isn't she?
But what I will say, actually, you can go first, Colin. I'll let you go first.
No, I've noticed in Johnny Flashback this last 3 months, he's got more aggressive. He's got more angry. Remember when he took on Ewan and Danny Kerr for the tag team championships? You know, that was DJ B's fault for letting him not get a partner and stuff like that. It goes against it. Sometimes his heart is bigger than his brain, but he won't give up. I'll put it this way. Nate Sawyer, he's been in the ring with him before. He knows what to expect. And I think we might get a surprise. And I wouldn't be surprised if Flashback wins this. Or I could actually see it going out the ring, double count out, because these two are just going to knock the snot out of each other, aren't they?
Yes. What I will say about Johnny Flashback is we have met many a times inside of a wrestling ring in many different places. And what I will say is, although there's been lots of rivalry between us two, lots of bitterness, lots of, how can I say, lots of disrespect between one another, I will say that I respect him as a professional wrestler. I respect his ability. I respect what he can do. I respect how he can captivate an audience with just his presence. It's things that very few people can do so easily, and he manages to do it very easily. And I agree with you. We have seen a very aggressive side of him the past few months, most notably last month, like you said, in the 2-on-1 handicap tag championship match. I think everyone was expecting that match to be a very 5-minute quick one and done thing, but he stayed in there for a while. He showed a lot. He pulled a lot out that he didn't usually pull out. And I think that is the mentality that he needs to have going into this rematch against Nate Sawyer. I've never faced Nate Sawyer in a match. I don't know what kind of a mindset you need to get into to face somebody like him. I have no doubt that I'd be able to beat him because I can actually wrestle. But what I will say is that I think Johnny Flashback is on the path to becoming a better all-around wrestler because of this aggression. And me personally, I think Nate Sawyer has stagnated since his match against Dagon. He hasn't really picked up the momentum that he had since the beginning of IWF, where he was this undefeatable monster.
He had the match with Sweeney, didn't he, as a tag team partner? And I thought them two did really well, but they just didn't gel, did they? It was just, I think they're both, you know, as we always say about tag teams, the pair of it have got to work together. And these two were at times working against each other. If those two had worked together, they'd be tag team champions, absolutely certain. You know, they would have beat Thunder Flash, but they just got carried away.
Since losing the Regal Duels Championships, Thunder Flash have decided to part ways as a tag team inside of IWF. They've parted ways respectfully with one another. They're obviously still close friends, but they want to pursue their singles careers, which is all well and good for them. And Johnny Flashback has said that he wants to redeem his singles career inside the IWF. It didn't start very well. He shined in a tag team. So I think this match for Johnny Flashback is a must-win. He has to win this match for his own mental well-being. If he can't get over this hurdle for the second time in a row, after saying that he wants to rejuvenate his career as a singles wrestler, I don't know what's left for Johnny Flashback in the IWF.
Hey, look, Johnny's got the heart. Whether he's got, the persistence of Nate Sawyer, because Nate doesn't step back to anyone. He's in your face. He's just going to club you. He's just going to hit you. He's not going to take any messages from the referee. He's just going to go and, cause as much pain as possible. And that's Nate Sawyer. But the only way to get around Nate Sawyer is beat him in the mind, because he does have all these little mind games, but sometimes it's all about himself and it's all about other people. And what you've got to do, you've got to outthink him. You could out-wrestle him. Spawn, you saw when Spawn got those thumbtacks out, that body bag match, and Spawn actually won that match, which was quite surprising. He might have had a little bit of help, but there was a lot of interference in that match. But still, Spawn won it. And, he could go through a lot of pain. I remember Dagon hitting him with a snow shovel, and breaking the snow shovel. Shocking.
What I will say about Nate Sawyer, I think that he was quite an enigma when IWF first started. A lot of wrestlers didn't really know how to deal or cope while being in the ring with him. I think that since the loss to Dagon, people are now figuring out how to deal with this person. And there's two ways to deal with a man like Nate Sawyer. You can go down the route that Spawn went down and Dagon went down, where you need to get yourself in that same dark mindset that Nate Sawyer goes to in order to beat him. Or you can go the route that Jakob went, where it's that slight margin. You catch him off guard due to in-ring ability, and you just take it. That's what Jakob was able to do. So Johnny Flashback needs to pick one of them routes, and he needs to go there. Do I think Johnny Flashback has the mentality to go to that dark place? No, I don't think he's that type of person. He's a lover, not a fighter. Power of love.
He's a fighter.
I've wrestled Johnny Flashback. He's never beaten us before, but I will say he's a hard man to keep down.
He is.
And I do think that he has got that fine margin that could just sneak him a win here. So I will vote for Johnny Flashback to be the winner of the match.
I think it's going to go double count out. I think it's going to go outside, and these two are just going to break the crap out of each other. I think that's what's going to happen. That's my guess.
It's professional wrestling. Anything can happen.
Women's Liberty Championship.
Oh, another debut.
Yeah. Kirsty Love, our champion. She's, anyone that gets in that ring with her, she's just clobbered. Absolutely clobbered. And Peyton Lee, I don't know a lot about this young lady. I know she's from Scotland, and I will be meeting her for the first time tomorrow. So I've heard good thoughts about her. Do you know her any more than me, Persona?
Not really. From what I've gathered, she's obviously from Scotland. I believe the PBW Academy.
Yeah.
I believe she's showed lots of promise as a wrestler, but I do also believe that Kirsty is on one of them championship runs that it doesn't matter who you are, you're just going to get smashed out the way and then on to the next one.
Unfortunately. Kirsty Love is very much like Ryback. It's just feed me, feed the next competitor, and then it's pancake time. But I don't know how well she knows Peyton. I don't know if they've ever fought each other up in Scotland.
They have not wrestled each other. I know that.
They haven't wrestled each other. So anyway,
they get off each other before going into this.
Yeah, well, the main part of it is you get a new opponent that you know nothing about. You just got to ease in gently, just see what the strengths and weaknesses are. But Kirsty,
what I will say about Kirsty as well is that I mentioned before, she's on one of them dominant championship runs where it feels like no matter what you put in front of them, they're just going to win. And as a wrestler who's been on one of them runs before, the main thing that shows weakness and allows you to start almost losing or losing your championship is when you become too confident in what's going on. When you start to believe that nobody has a chance. And that's what Kirsty can't do. Kirsty can't fall into the habit of, it doesn't matter how it is, I'm just going to beat them anyway. Because I've been there myself, and it's showing weakness, and your opponents are then able to capitalize on that because you're underestimating them. I did it against Jakob, and it could lead to a loss.
You remember Copey and Hybrid at Grindon? Hybrid was like playing with his food, wasn't he? And all of a sudden, Copey pulled it out the bag, and the town went up. Great luck to him. We're back at Grindon very soon. I'm looking forward to that.
Colin, who do you think is going to be the women's champion at the end of the night?
I can only see Kirsty Love winning this, mainly because of my lack of knowledge about Peyton. But if she does surprise her by Kirsty's overconfidence, good luck to her. But I can't see anyone knocking Kirsty Love off the championship at present. I think she's Teflon.
I will agree.
Absolutely Teflon. Nothing's going to stick to her. It's going to crack on. Well, hey, I can't wait for this one. Wriggle Duo Championship. Here we go. Danny and Ewan, who won the titles last month, beating Johnny Flashback on his Todd against Blaze of Glory. That's Fahrenheit and Mitch the Kid. These two lads are absolutely hilarious. We saw them at their debut against Thunder Flash at Grindon a few shows ago. And I know Fahrenheit, he's a lovely lad. I know Mitch the Kid, I think he's going to university soon. So if you're going to see him, you got to see him. You got to see him soon, because I don't know if this tag team's going to stay together for a while. But Mitch the Kid and Fahrenheit are just the perfect team. If I was going to say, are we going to get a new tag team champion? I'm going to say yeah, because Blaze of Glory, the crowd are behind them. Danny and Ewan, they're slippery little feckers. I've never liked Ewan in a month of Sundays. Danny, I can respect. He's been Sovereign Shield champion, but yeah, I just don't like Ewan. He's a sneaky little goblin.
So obviously, the audience have seen everybody that's in this match. We've witnessed what Blaze of Glory can do. We'll witness how infectious they are when it comes to the audience and how much the audience get behind them so quickly as well. Obviously, they had a Regal Duels Championship match in January that you mentioned at Grindon against Thunder Flash, and Blaze of Glory on a debut came that close to being tag champions, but just couldn't get it over the line. And obviously, the new champions, Danny K and Ewan, coming into this, have they got a bit of a chip on the shoulder, considering they didn't actually win the championships by beating a tag team? They did it in a handicap match. Does that show a difference in skill?
Do you know who I think is going to be most worried in this match?
Who?
Brian. You never know. Fahrenheit just might take his temperature again.
For those that are wondering what happened in January, so I'll paint the picture for you now. Imagine Grindon, under the lights, IWF, wrestling ring, lots of ropes, very white ropes. Brian accidentally gets in the way of the temperature check. And if people don't understand this, the temperature check is when Fahrenheit gets his thumb and sticks it right up your arse. So Brian, being the amazing referee that he is, decided to accidentally slip in the way of the temperature check and get the film
Up the chuff.
What I will say is me and you have seen Brian at his angriest last
Oh,
show.
we have. Oh, yeah, he does a hissy fit well, doesn't he? He does a lovely hissy fit, doesn't he?
But we have also seen Brian at his happiest when he was getting temperature checked.
Well, I'm sure he pushed that wrestler out the way just so that could happen. You know,
he pushed him and then he slipped and then he was just there and there was no avoiding it.
I can't say what Taylor said, but if you get the Patreon, you will find out what he did say. And put it this way, I can't say what he said now.
Anyway, I think one of the big factors that I think a lot of fans are underestimating, and although a lot of people don't like him, is Ewan's experience in professional wrestling. He's been everywhere. He's done a lot. He's won a lot of championships. He's very used to being in these big match moments where it matters. And he's very good at doing a page out of my book. He's very good at winning by any means necessary.
Oh, very much so. And Danny Kaye will learn a lot from him.
Yes.
And Danny, he's just, you know, just watch, listen, learn. And it'll help Danny's game no end. But I think these two get on, but Ewan's always the boss. Ewan is always the boss of this. And Danny's got to remember that. I've got Blaze Glory to win. How do you feel?
I have a feeling that this might just be Blaze of Glory's time. I think they came that close before, and I think they know what needs to be done to close that gap and get it over the line. And
I wouldn't put it past shenanigans from Ewan to, shall we say, hang on to them. They've got champions advantage, don't forget. So DQs, countouts, you know, they will use them. They will use them. You know, it's not past the best of people that Ewan's going to give you a poke in the eye and probably a genital cuff. But, you know, he keeps the championship, you know. He'll only play along for as long as he wants. And then he'll just, let's put him to sleep or whatever they're going to do. That's the should we go on to the IWF Championship match? You know, when we can look at poor old Grandad against Walker. Now, I've got a lot of time for Walker. He's been away from the ring for a while now. The only thing I'm worried about is the rust on Walker. You know, he's a big, strong lad. He must be 20 clem. The size of him as well. You know, Dagon is going to get absolutely mashed. You know, I know these two are good friends, but as I've always said, you put a bit of gold on the line and friendship goes out the bloody window. I think if Walker goes straight for him and goes for that bad leg, that bad back of a poor old Dagon, I think Dagon is in big trouble. That's where I think he should go.
Obviously, I've had rivalries with both men in this match. I've had championship matches against both men. I know what they're both capable of. I know what they're both not capable of. What I will say is, yes, Walker is coming into this with ring rust, but he isn't exactly coming into this as the perfect model. As it's been noted, he looks hurt. The previous sustaining injuries that he's got, and he's also not going to be in the right frame of mind. Clearly, I mean, after what we've done last show, is Dagon's full focus going to be on doing everything he can to retain this championship? Because I know for a fact that Walker has made it very clear that he cares about nothing except winning this championship back.
Yeah, you've got to remember that Dagon's always got in the back of his mind. Genius, persona, spawn. We're going to be there. We might not be at ringside. We'll be in the building. we'll be keeping an eye out for this. I'll be sat at commentary desk. We're not going to be far away. And just like shall we say, the wolf pack we are. You never know. Don't upset us, because that's the last thing you want to do. Just you have a good match, Dagon, and hope you get out of it. Because I hope you win. I hope you win this, because I just want to make sure that we get Spawn in that ring with you sometime soon. That's what I want. We want to get close and make sure that he wins either number one contenders or he's just next in line, because one, he deserves it, and two, the Imperial audience want to see it. They want to see father versus son. They want to see it. And you'll be in the corner for Spawn. I'll be at the commentary desk. I think I've got DJ B tomorrow with me. So, I might not get a word in edgeways tomorrow. So, we had a right hissy fit last time. When I opened that coffin, I said, look, he always tells me that he plans 3 parts ahead. Well, I'm glad I'm about 5 parts ahead. But, because sometimes, he thinks he's his genius. But as I always tell him, there's only one genius around here, Sunshine. And he'll be sat next to me tomorrow. And he'll be giving me them looks. Why did you do that? I don't think that was very good. Da, 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 da. And I'll just look at him and say, you're irrelevant, Sunshine. Just let us do what we do. Don't get in our way. Because if you get in the way, he threatened to suspend us. He threatened to do this, that, the other. He dared. It's as simple as that. He doesn't have the Jimmy Jewels. Absolutely. Because all you have to do, I'm going to sit next to him tomorrow and say, boo, and he'll jump. He'll wet his pants. He'll probably crap his pants and stuff like that.
What I will say about the match is, speaking of DJB as well in relation to this match, who's DJB going to be rooting for? Because we all know that he's got his favourites, but this is his former Brev against his former big Brev. Like, who does he want to win? Who's he going to stack the deck against? Because he always does it against somebody.
Oh, he does. He does get his favourites. I could just quite happily see a DJB getting involved somehow, and then looking innocent, as if he's done something. But
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in there, cuts the belt in half, and gives them a half each. You can thank the Detriment for the Legion even being allowed to wrestle tomorrow. As for who I want to win tomorrow, the Empire wins. Well, first of all, if the Legion want to wrestle, we're going to wrestle. There's not anybody that can stop us from doing what we want to do in the IWF. And we made everyone aware of that last show. What you're going to do is the ref going to come on and cry in a video saying that he's not going to ref with matches. We'll find another one. There's plenty of refs in this sport. Is the general manager saying that he's going to suspend us? No, he won't. You're going to suspend 2 of the hottest prospects that you've got and lose how much money on the door by not having us on a show? Yeah, I don't think you're going to do that. You're going to suspend a commentator who's been at every show. You're going to suspend a future Hall of Famer? No.
Sorry.
Let's not act like the big man in the comments. I'll see you tomorrow, TGV. See how big you're then.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Right. Oh, I can't wait for this.
Oh, wait there. Who do you think's going to win?
Oh, I hope Dagon wins. So then he's even more broken for when Spawn gets his hands on him.
I hope Dagon wins for the same reason but my brain tells me that Walker will win the match just due to Dagon being a little crybaby and that his head isn't going to be in the right space, and that'll be his excuse for losing another championship.
Look, let's not worry about it. It's irrelevant.
DGB will probably give Dagon 6 rematches to make sure he gets it back, though. So it's fine.
Yeah. And, anyway, let's have a look. I can't wait for this one. This is my Sovereign Shield Championship match, Alan Shaw and Jakob. Now, I've seen these two at training, and these two have competitions how high they can fly and moonsault, and these two are going to put on a fantastic. I'm really worried about the room style, the lights and stuff like this in this match. These two will go full out. Both King of the Skies, both aerial kings, both got heart. Look, it's a match I just love to watch. And, I don't mind who wins. I think Alan and his experience will win out, but, that Polish party prince and the Polish party that's going to be in there, they will go absolutely wild if Jakob wins.
I think no matter, when it comes to Jakob, no matter how popular you are in the IWF, no matter how many fans like you, if you are wrestling against Jakob, you are on the away team that night.
You are.
And a lot of people who are fan favourites aren't going to be able to deal with that pressure, unfortunately. And I do very much agree. I think this match is going to be one of them instant classics that you know is going to happen before it even happens. The in-ring ability on display in this match will be second to none. I think it's going to be one of them matches where they're not necessarily bothered about damaging each other. They just want to one-up each other. Whatever you can do, I can do better for 15, 20 minutes. I don't know how long. And it's simply going to come down to who wants this more or who's got that one little trick that the other one doesn't know about. Alan Shaw obviously has a lot more experience than Jakob. But what I will say about Jakob, as somebody that has wrestled him and has lost to him, he has a wrestling IQ on him. He has an IQ of somebody his age shouldn't have. And that's obviously the multitude of trainers that he's had, all the knowledge he's been able to soak up, wrestling so many matches in such a short period of time. And Alan Shaw, before he was Sovereign Shield champion, he kept having these moments where he was so close and he was in touch and distance of the championship. And it felt like it was never going to happen. But then it finally happened. We're always seeing the same thing happen with Jakob. Jakob, in relation to the Sovereign Shield Championship, is very similar to Alan Shaw. He's been fingertips away. Is this going to be the moment where he gets it over the line?
I honestly think that, as you say, this is going to be a 5-star match, and these boys are going to leave everything in that ring, and it's going to be carnage with these two flying around everywhere, and I just think Alan and his experience will win it. But if Jakob wins it, shall we say, the roof will come off.
Well, who do you think is going to win?
I think Alan's going to win. Experience over inexperience. It's as simple as that.
I'm going to put this out there now. I'll do it live so everyone can hear. Mm-hmm. Jakob, I hope that you win the match tomorrow night. And I hope that you become Sovereign Shield champion. Because I want you to have that moment in the ring, a very similar moment you had when you beat me, where it was emotional, it was heartfelt, your family were all around you hugging you, and I want you to finally have that moment of being the champion. And I want you to cherish it. Because I don't like people that beat me in the ring. I don't like being 1-0 against somebody. So I really hope that you win the match, Jakob, so that I can come back and I can look you in the eye and I can tell you that I am going to redeem myself and I will beat you and I will take that championship from your hands as quick as you got it. Because if Spawn's going for the IWF championship, the GOAT wants some gold as well. And I want that Sovereign Shield championship. So Jakob, please win the match so that I can redeem myself and show the world that you fluked against me.
I love the sentiment of that. Absolutely. Ticking time bomb it is. As soon as you get your hands on a championship, and as soon as you get the opportunity, which, hopefully after tomorrow, when we deal with two pillocks, it's not going to be a problem. I think we better talk about the two pillocks, the Detriment. These two guys, we are best buddies for a time, but I've never liked him. I have never liked him, Persona.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say best buddies. When it comes to mine and the Detriment's relationship, it was more of a, I'll help you keep your tag team championships and you two just be my little lackeys and take some of the, as a professional wrestler, you take lots of damage. Your career's always like a very thin piece of wood that can snap at any minute. So I wanted some bodies who could just take some of them hits for me and maintain, and so that I can maintain my lovely athletic ability and my career. And that's what them two were for a period of time until they decided that they were bigger than what they actually were. Anyway, we didn't want this match. They wanted it.
They wanted it.
Because they've decided that they've turned a new leaf. They've decided that they're the good guys now and that they're going to do things the right way. And the right way starts with us. And they're going to make everybody proud when they step toe-to-toe with the very evil Legion. Before I speak, Colin, I'll let you talk about this match because I've got a lot to get off my chest in a minute.
Yeah, the Detriment are deluded. You know, if these two idiots think they can lace up either your boots or Spawn's boots, they're just losing their mind. I can imagine, you know, in this match, these two will not war what's hit them. You've got your athletic ability, your kicks, your chops, and I just can't see it. You'll run rings around them. Spawn will be slapping the taste out of all of that. I can imagine that Alfie Jaxyn's chest will be red raw. Hybrid, as I say, you'll run rings around it. He'll be gassed out, you know, pretty early, and it's going to be pick them apart very quickly. You know, Spawn gets any one of these two in a crossface, or you get a coup de grace on any of these, and it's lights out, night done, and a bit of, oh dear, I didn't realise we were that bad. Yeah, don't worry, Detriment. You think you're great. We'll just bring you back down to the ground tomorrow.
So, the Detriment. A tag team that started off light always clears darkness. The Detriment will be victorious. All right, Diego. How did that light do last show? Was the darkness cleared last show? I don't think it was. Anyway. So, the Detriment want the Legion. The Detriment are a tag team that started in the IWF and have shown very little chemistry. They've shown very little teamwork. To me, they're a joke. They are the comic relief of IWF. When you're scrolling through the page and you see the Detriment have put a video out, you know it's not going to be something that's going to hype you up for a show. It's not going to be something that makes you think that they're going to win. It's, this will be a bit funny. Let's watch this. Let's laugh react this because that's what they are. They're the laugh guys. They're going to make us laugh. And they're going to make us laugh when they get in the ring and wrestle. They were tag team champions. I'm not going to discredit that. But then you tear it apart and you look at how they were tag team champions. They beat a tag team that we've never seen since the first show. One of which was Silfra, who won about 3 matches out of 40. The other one was Adrenaline Kid, who we've seen about twice and he can't breathe. And now he's dead. So first of all, off to a rough start. They then faced Thunder Flash, in which they cheated to win, which I'm not against. But again, it doesn't really show you a lot of positives. They then faced off against Jammin and Ewan. Can't remember how that match ended because it was such a bore. But if I remember correctly, it wasn't something that you thought, these are a good tag team about. Then they had Thunder Flash again and they lost. Because they weren't able to cheat. And they didn't have Persona holding the hand and telling them what to do. Yes, you have been a tag team for a while. You have knew each other for a while. You're probably friends. It's not going to matter. Because even at your best, when you are united, you on nowhere near our level. When me and Spawn hated each other, we were still able to function as a tag team. We were still able to run rings around people. We didn't have to be best friends to know what each other were going to do in the ring. We didn't have to be best friends to beat anybody that was put against us. And now we are united. We are one. How are you ever going to compete with us? Multiple promotions wrestled in, multiple championships won. Do you have any of the accolades that we have? No. What I will say about this is it's like to pretend that you're this united front, which you aren't. I've seen the looks that you give each other. I've seen the passing comments. Hybrid thinks that Alfie is a joke. Alfie thinks that Hybrid's attitude is holding him back in this business. They don't like each other. They just happened to be tag team champions. Let's not forget how the Detriment started, because nobody else would tag with Hybrid. And Alfie Jaxyn was the only person left. And when our legacy is over, and when the Legion win the match, this is exactly what's going to happen. Hybrid is going to go backstage. He's going to pack his bags. He's going to put his ring gear in his bag. He's going to put his stupid mask in his bag. And he's going to put whatever else he's got away. He's going to wheel himself out the door. And he's going to go somewhere else where it's easier. Where he can wrestle people who don't really know how to wrestle. Where he can wrestle people who don't really train. Where it can be nice and easy and he can get all the opportunities that he wants. And where he can beat lesser talent. And where he doesn't have to put the work in. That's what's going to happen after our match. And then Alfie Jaxyn is going to sink right back down and be the joke that he has always been. What's he going to do? Is he going to go backstage and cry because the Legion beat him? Is he going to get drunk and go on a live and say that he misses the old times when it was easy? Listen, boys, you have made the biggest mistake of your career by coming at the Legion. We are going to teach you a very valuable lesson in that ring.
It's very simple. It's like the Legion versus Laurel and Hardy, isn't it? And that should be the music them two come out to tomorrow. Laurel and Hardy, absolutely. You know, it's just going to be. It's going to be a slaughter. That's what it's going to be. They're not even going to get out the gates by the time.
And for all I know, tomorrow night they could prove me wrong. They could be competitive. They could show us that they've learned a lot. They could put it all on the line. And who knows, if they do put everything on the line, if they end up pulling this long-lasting match out of us two, who knows? I might go backstage and I might shake the hand and I might say, do you know what, boys? I discredited you. But I know for a fact, and every fan knows for a fact, and everybody backstage knows that you two are the joke of this promotion and that you ain't going to lay a finger on us.
They've got no chance. It's as simple as that. The winners are simply the Legion. And, I'm just looking forward to it. And DJ B will be sat there clapping his hands like a seal. And, come on, Detriment. And I will look at him and just say, don't like to say I told you so, but I told you so. So, good luck. Good luck, Detriment. Your career's finished tomorrow night.
Well, that is all of the matches for our legacy. Oh, wait, I just realised. Well, I may have lied at the beginning of the show. Yes, Spawn's not here. But he did send me a message. And he said, it's up to you if you want to let them hear this. And I think I will, for one time only, be a very nice man. And I will allow the IWF fans to see what Spawn has to say to them all. So please, Mr. Editor, let them know what Spawn had to say.
All right, lads, I know that you're expecting us on tonight, the Genius and the Legion, but I had a bit thinking, why would I address those fans that won't even listen to me? The ones that turned their back on us, why should I even speak to them? Why should I give them that attention? Because that's all they want. Now, Persona. We know a lot of people in IWF like to talk the talk. When me and you, we walk the walk, and that's going to happen tomorrow when Alfie and Hybrid are at our feet after being defeated by the greatest tag team that IWF's ever seen, and that's the Legion. So good luck tonight, lads. I'll see you tomorrow. Actually, I know something I want to leave it on there. See, Dagon versus Walker. Dagon's got that championship, that should be mine. And everyone knows it's going to be mine because I'm going to be the one that defeats him. And Walker, he just comes from nowhere, gets a championship shot. Don't think that's how it works here. So what I'm going to leave you with is a penny for your thoughts, Walker.
So we did have all the Legion on tonight.
We did. We didn't false advertise. We're stuck to the word. Genius and the Legion.
Yeah. Hey, what it says on the tin, you get in the tin. And tomorrow, we'll be coming out the traps tomorrow night. And put it this way, you can boo me as much as you want. You can call these two as much as you want. But you've got to put your hands together, clap your appreciation for their professionalism, their skill, their craft, and just their winners. And it's very simple. Tomorrow night, it may be our legacy. Alan Shaw. Man, you're so full of yourselves, aren't you? Look, Alan, I was polite to you tonight.
Why would I win a belt?
Well, don't worry about it, Alan. You've got Jakob tomorrow night. Keep your eyes on him, sunshine, because he can beat you as quick as a hiccup. Look,
Alan Shaw, who knows, if you win the Sovereign Shield, I might come after you. Just for that little comment. Who knows? Your championship might be taken away.
It doesn't matter whose championship it is, Persona. As soon as you set your eyes on something, it'll happen. And DJB can do nothing about it. Because what we're going to do, it's going to be gold, and even more gold. Dagon, Spawn, I would strongly advise you don't focus on me or Walker tomorrow. No, we will focus on you and Walker once we've finished our match with the Detriment, and then no doubt we shall sit there for the finale, the big finale, Walker and Dagon. We'll be there, just encouraging you. Don't you worry about it. I just enjoy the match, and we'll see if the best man wins. But don't worry about it. I'm going to enjoy it from the commentary desk. The boys are going to enjoy it because you two are just going to knock the snot out of each other, and we're just going to pick up the pieces. You two are irrelevant. Yeah, well, whatever. Neither of you worry me. Well, you should be worried, Dagon, because your career is ticking like a clock on a bomb. The bomb's going to go off soon, and the bomb is your back. The bomb is your body.
We'll come back to this in a few months' time when Dagon's no longer champion and Spawn is, and when he says that we didn't need to worry. But that is all the matches that we have announced for our legacy tomorrow night at the Cheers Bar in Sunderland. 6 p.m. for the doors. If you want to get in nice and quick, get your seat, get your drinks, I suggest you get here nice and early. Obviously, you can pay on the door if you want to, or you can pay right now by messaging the page. Yes, £10 adult, £5 for a child.
Just crack on. It's going to be an absolute festival tomorrow night. And I know that I'm going to be smiling at the end of it. You're going to be smiling. Spawn's going to be smiling. Oh, yes. And it's who's going to be crying like little babies. And I can just think of two people. One of them is DJB, and the second one is Dave. Oh, Dagon, I'm absolutely fine. Don't waste your concerns on me, Colin. Hey, Dagon, me and you've been good friends a long time. You just didn't see it coming. And I've always appreciated your friendship. But you've got to know when your time is up. And I feel that time is coming close. And you might be brave and stand in the middle of that ring and take on all comers. But soon, the clock is going to run out. The hourglass, the sand is ticking. And I don't think there's a lot of sand left. Good luck, Dagon. We're waiting for you. From the GOAT, I'm the genius. And you know what that is? Devious. Good night.
No retreat, no backing down. We wear the gold, we take the crown. Imperial, the empire reigns.